late Wednesday afternoon, and the huge storm continued on a course toward a late-night landfall in Florida. The storm, currently producing winds of 75 miles per hour, is a Category 1 hurricane, according to the 6 p.m. update from the National Hurricane Center. Nicole made landfall on Grand Bahama Island on Wednesday evening. Unless the storm's center passes over Palm Beach County, in which case it's likely to get hurricane-strength winds, here are the National Weather Service's predictions for peak South Florida wind speeds. Northern and coastal Palm Beach County, 40 to 60 miles per hour, with gusts of more than 75 miles per hour. Southern and inland Palm Beach County, 30 to 40 miles per hour with gusts to 60 miles per hour. Broward County, 5 to 25 miles per hour, with gusts to 35 to 40 miles per hour. A 62 miles per hour gust was reported in Juno Beach, as the storm's vast wind field reached South Florida and the region started to shut down in preparation for a strike by a rare November hurricane. At highest risk is the region from northern Palm Beach County through the Melbourne area. A tropical storm watch was canceled for Miami-Dade County. Most of the wind we've seen so far has been confined to coastal Palm Beach, said Chris Fisher, meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Miami. We've gotten some reports of coastal flooding up there around high tide this morning. Coastal neighborhoods in Broward and Palm Beach counties are likely to experience additional flooding at the second high tide about 7 to 9 p.m., he said. Beaches were closed in Fort Lauderdale, Dania Beach and Hollywood because of storm surge and urged residents to stay away from flooded roads near the coast. At the Palm Beach County beach town of Briny Breezes, where the storm had already flooded many streets, residents waded through knee-high water. But while the town of mobile homes was covered by a Palm Beach County evacuation order, many residents appeared unimpressed at the prospect of a Category 1 hurricane and had no plans to leave. I don't think it's going to be that bad, Pete Theodore, 91, said as he used his golf cart to pick up the mail. Despite the beginning of flooding around the neighborhood, he said he had no plans to pile up sandbags. I don't really do that much. At 6 p.m. the center of the storm was about 105 miles east of West Palm Beach. We're seeing tropical force winds and storm surge inundation along much of Florida's east coast, said Michael Brennan, acting deputy director of the National Hurricane Center. All the way from Palm Beach to Daytona Beach, Flagler Beach and St. Augustine. So the impacts from Nicole are starting right now. The area at greatest risk starts in northern Palm Beach County and goes north, the National Weather Service said. Hurricane force winds could hit that area around 9 p.m. Wednesday. Confidence is generally increasing in the expected area of greatest impacts, which is from Palm Beach County north through the Treasure and Space Coasts, the Weather Service said. Tropical force winds, which means winds of at least 39 miles per hour, should die down in Palm Beach and Broward counties by Thursday morning. Even as the storm's rain bands started to rake South Florida, residents were hitting the stores for supplies. I'm not scared of this storm, said Michael Lemieux, 77, in the rain-swept parking lot of a Costco in Davie. I would be if I lived near the sea, but I think I'm inland enough. Lisa Weiss of Davie, a Broward teacher, said she is using her day off to stock up on supplies. She loaded cases of water into her car as the rain began picking up. I'm a Florida native, so I am used to storms, she said. I think we are going to get flooding. Palm Beach International Airport closed to all traffic and is shutting down the terminal. A mandatory evacuation order took effect in Palm Beach County for coastal communities and other vulnerable areas. Schools closed throughout South Florida. Florida Power and Light mobilized 13,000 workers to respond to power outages. President Joe Biden approved an emergency declaration for 40 counties, which makes federal assistance available. Governor Ron DeSantis said 600 Florida National Guard members have been activated and several search and rescue teams placed on standby. 45 of the state's 67 counties, including Palm Beach, Broward and Miami-Dade, were under a state of emergency declaration. DeSantis urged residents to obey evacuation orders and closely follow weather forecasts. He warned that the exact storm track can be dynamic, so pay attention. Tropical storm conditions have raked the east coast of Florida in the warning areas, and hurricane conditions are expected beginning Wednesday evening or overnight in the areas where the hurricane warning is in effect. Palm Beach County ordered the evacuation of Zones A and B, which includes barrier islands, low-lying areas and mobile home communities. Residents can check their evacuation zone here. The evacuations apply to about 52,000 residents of mobile homes throughout the county and 67,000 coastal residents, Palm Beach County Administrator Virginia Baker said. After approaching Florida on Wednesday night or early Thursday, Nicole will move across central and northern Florida and into southern Georgia on Thursday and Thursday night, the center's latest advisory said. Life-threatening storm surge is possible along the Broward and Palm Beach County coasts, the National Weather Service said. Storm surge, the wind-driven rise in sea levels that accounted for many of the deaths when Hurricane Ian hit the Gulf Coast in September, could reach 2 to 4 feet in South Florida and be accompanied by large and destructive waves, the National Hurricane Center said. The storm's wind field, shown on the Hurricane Center's map in dark yellow, is unusually large, which means that wherever Nicole's center strikes, the entire east coast of Florida is likely to face high winds, heavy rain and storm surge. Florida Division of Emergency Management officials advised to stock up on a week's worth of non-perishable packaged and canned foods and beverages, 1 gallon of water per person per day, non-electric can openers, paper and plastic utensils, pet food and supplies, gasoline, first aid supplies, medications, cell phone chargers, batteries, flashlights and cash, and to secure important documents. Eric Silagi, President and CEO of Florida Power and Light Company, cautioned that the storm will cause power outages as trees and vegetation that were weakened during recent Hurricane Ian get knocked down. It is very likely that we will see outages from the storm, Silagi said. A storm surge watch has been extended west along the Panhandle from the Ochlockonah River to Indian Pass. Storm surge watches are in place from south of North Palm Beach to Hallandale Beach, from the Anclote River to the Ochlockonah River, and from Altamaha Sound in Georgia to the South Santee River in South Carolina. Storm surge warnings are in effect for North Palm Beach to Altamaha Sound and the mouth of the St. Johns River to Georgetown in Florida. South Florida will see the heaviest of any rainfall from the storm between Wednesday and Thursday, according to the Weather Service. Between 4 and 6 inches are expected in parts of Palm Beach County and Broward County, though higher amounts in some areas are possible. The combination of a dangerous storm surge and the tide will cause normally dry areas near the coast to be flooded by rising waters moving inland from the shoreline, the Hurricane Center's latest advisory said. From Hallandale Beach to North Palm Beach, storm surge could reach 2 to 4 feet and 1 to 2 feet from north of Ocean Reef to Hallandale Beach, including Biscayne Bay. From North Palm Beach to Altamaha Sound, storm surge could reach 3 to 5 feet, the center's latest advisory said. Some tornadoes may be possible in eastern Florida, Georgia and South Carolina late Wednesday night through Friday, the Hurricane Center said. There have been 2 major hurricanes, meaning Category 3 or above, so far this season, Fiona and Ian. The next named storm to form would be Owen. NOAA has predicted at least 4 more hurricanes will form before hurricane season officially ends on November 30th. This is a developing story, so check back for updates. Click here to have breaking news alerts sent directly to your inbox. Sun Sentinel staff writers Cindy Krisher Goodman and Shira Moulton, and Orlando Sentinel staff writers Mark Skonecki and Richard Tribu contributed to this report.
Not that bad right now. Slow down some. I'll be keeping you guys updated as long as I got power and stuff. Okay, I gotta get out of here. I'm getting wet. Just standing here by the door. Crazy.